Report, everybody. Time for one of our weekly segments where we are going to let the audience loose on Robert Porcher. You ready for this? They've got some questions for you.
I'm ready.
Any ground rules? Any questions that you want to outlaw at this point?
Not this week. Let's just go.
All right, let's roll then. Let's bring them on up. Let's grab our first question for Robert Porcher.
Robert, opening day, Green Bay, in Green Bay. How do you feel about it?
Really good. It's a big game for us. It's the first game of the season. It's a divisional game on the road. Lambeau Field, all the history is going there. I think it'll be a very, very exciting game. For us to win the game, I think, if our offense doesn't turn the ball over, I think we'll win the game.
Robert, is it good to open up with the game against a team like Green Bay, Super Bowl the past couple of years? You test yourself right away. Is that a positive in your mind?
Yeah, but it's a division game, and I think a lot of people put that on the back burner. When you have a team that you're playing in your division, you play them twice a year, every year. So there's only so many things or so many plays that they can run to kind of like throw you off. You know the guys that you're going to play in front of, and you know their tendencies, everything. So I think it'll be just who wants it the most at the end of the game, who makes the least amount of mistakes. That'll be the winner.
So a lot of teams around the NFL might look at Green Bay and say, you know what, these guys won it 2 years ago. They were in the Super Bowl last year. You just see them as the same old Green Bay Packers you've been playing all these years.
Well, I see them.
You know they're good, but it's
a
a familiar team.
Very, very familiar. Very familiar. Know the guys, the offensive linemen. I know their sets, everything. It's just who makes the least amount of mistakes and who wants it the most.
All right, let's grab another question from our audience.
How you doing, Rob?
Pretty good.
I was attending training camp up in Saginaw, and you guys signed autographs and things like that. You guys look more like a family than even a team. So my question to you is, teams that play as a family, they're more cohesive. They get on top of each other as far as making a bad play. They give themselves, give the other players a pat on the back when a mistake is made. You guys feel like this is the year that you're going to go to the Super Bowl? What's your thoughts on that and what the other players think about that?
Well, one thing that we've been really trying to do, and I think is very important, and I'm glad that Coach Ross has done it since he's become the head coach. First thing he wanted to do was get the training camp situation set up where we were away from the Silverdome, and you know, it gave the guys a chance to get to know each other. When we're in Saginaw, there's absolutely nothing to do there but practice football and, you know, talk amongst each other. In the last 2 years, I think I've really gotten to know some of my teammates much better than I have in the past when we practiced right here at the Silverdome. As far as us being together, yeah, I think we are starting to come together as a family, you know, just spending a lot of time with each other and doing a lot of things away from practice together. So as far as is this the year, a lot of things go into that. One of them being injuries. If we can keep that injury bug away, I think we have a really good chance. And at the same time, we can't beat ourselves with the little silly mistakes, a lot of them that we've made in the past.
All right, Robert, let's grab another question from our audience here.
Hey, Rob, how you doing?
Pretty good.
As far as preseason goes, I know you want to get your work in and stay injury-free, but as far as wins and losses, like, how do you feel about it? Like, do the veterans, like, value wins and losses in the preseason and all, and the rookies, how do they treat them? Do they, like, get up and down real quick with a win and loss in the preseason? Like, how do they deal with that?
Winning's great as long as you don't have to go to overtime, right?
Well, in the preseason, you want to win. That's the main objective. Anytime you step on the field, you want to win. Yes, you don't want to get injured. You also want to just come together as a team and do the things that you set out to do before you go into the game. As far as the rookies are concerned, a lot of those guys' career depends on how they play. So some guys take it a little bit more serious than others. But overall, yes, you do want to win. And if you don't, I mean, you feel bad, but, you know, you don't feel bad for days. You just feel bad that night and you move on to the next game.
Realistically, when you come out of training camp, which you have done a number of times in your career now, how much do you know about a team? Do you really have an idea how good this team is? Can you get a read on that?
You have a feel for it, but until you get into the regular season, when the opposing team is throwing everything at you, you really don't know. You can say, yes, well, this team looks great in the preseason, or you can say this team looks bad. In the past years, there have been some teams that went undefeated and in the preseason and did absolutely nothing in the regular season. There have been some teams that haven't won a game in the preseason and to the Super Bowl during the regular season. So it really just depends how everybody comes together and what happens when the real bullets start flying.
Well, bullets are going to start flying next week. You know that in Green Bay. That's the opener. Plenty of time to talk about that next week. But when we come